July 21st, 2023. Let me start this video out by saying this video is for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research and come up with your own conclusion on it. And it's a late video. It's took me 2 days to figure out how to make this video and try to stay out of trouble here on YouTube. You got all this controversy right now over a Jason Aldean song, right? Some of you know what I'm talking about. Try that in a small town. Have you noticed for years and years we have a lot of boasters? What do I mean by boasters? They're always jaw-jacking, right? They're da-da-da-da-da. They're talking about they're going to do this, they would do that. If that happens here, I'm going to do that. How many times have they drawn that line in the sand? Somebody or the government has stepped over that line and they just draw another line. Well, if this happens, I'm going to do this. Nothing ever gets done, right? Ever. Nothing. A lot of people are talking about we're going to have a civil war, that, things like that. We're not in that time frame no more. We're not. Why? Too many people's afraid to go to jail, if you want to know the honest truth. Too many people afraid to go to jail, because now you'll go to jail over a simple fist fight. You will. Over a simple fist fight, you can go to jail now. Used to back in the day, you fought it out, You may have shook hands afterwards, you were buddies afterwards, or you may have just left it there and went on about both of your business, right? They have us nowadays where people, if they try to defend themselves, if they stand up for themselves, they get in just as much trouble as the person that's the aggressor or the person that's harming them sometimes, right? That's where we've come. Do I think a civil war will ever start here in the United States? No, I don't. Once it gets to that point of a civil war, the society has already collapsed. That's when you'll start seeing stuff like that. But we hear constantly, well, I'm going to do this. And we hear it a lot on YouTube videos, right? Well, when time comes, I'll do what needs to be done. No, you won't. You're a talker. Plain and simple, you're a talker. A lot of people will sit there and say, well, when this happens and this happens, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then that happens. They don't do nothing. They just sit there and take it, right? That's the way we are in society now. I can count on my hand about 5 friends who, when they draw that line, that's the line. If you cross it, it's on from there, right? But the vast majority of them, of the people in the world, in the United States specifically, they're just talkers. They're boasters. They want to make themselves sound big. And you know exactly the type of person I'm talking about. It's the person that says, like, well, if they raise taxes, I'm going to quit paying taxes. If they raise taxes, you keep paying them, right? Or, if they don't do this, I'm going to do... You're not going to do nothing. Sit down and shut up. Plain and simple. You want to talk a big game, but you're not going to do nothing. In this Jason Aldean song that they claim is promoting racism, it's a lynching song. The only racism in that song is the people that are saying it's racist. That's the only racism in it. It's being racist against Jason Aldean. I care less if you listen to it or not. It's a pretty good song, but, deep down I know, if that happens in a small town, guess what? The vast majority of people, they're going to complain and not do nothing about it. That's just where we're at in a society right now. Now, this video does not promote violence. It does not tell you got to do anything. I'm just giving you my opinion on this, and it's for entertainment purposes only. Guys, you know the type of person I'm talking about. They're always the type that when it comes up to a situation that happens, where it could become physical, what do? They call the police. When that guy comes over here and starts some trouble, I'm going to take care of him. We're going to go out here in the yard and we're going to duke it out and fist fight, right? Guy or woman, if you're a man or woman, shows up, well, I'm going to call the police. Okay, you're a boaster, right? You're plain and simple boasting. We see this all the time on YouTube videos. We see guys all kitted out, talking about how when time comes, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. No, you're not. You're the type, more than likely right now, if somebody come on your property, instead of going up and confronting them, saying, hey, why are you on my property? You call the police. Now there is small little circles, in towns that they don't put up that crap, right? Most people know who they are in their town, don't come up there and try nothing with them, they gonna throw these, But That's where we're at in the United States right now. We have so many people who want to talk about what they're going to do. If this line gets crossed, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. That's all it is talk nowadays, right? Talk. And you have a lot of people that think, well, when the world goes to crap, I'm gonna run my group, and I'm king of my group. You're gonna do as I say and what? Dude, come on. Now, if this offends you, I'm sorry. This is not a video to try to offend you. This is just stating simple facts of the way the world is right now. Simple facts. A lot of people talk a big game, but when it comes time to actually implement that game, they don't do it. They just sit there and take it on the chin, right? Like, wow. Well, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, this video might possibly get taken down because of what we're talking about here, which, you know, we don't get very many views here anyways. We get like 100 views a video. But you can get somebody come on here in a video talking about how this line gets crossed, I'm going to do this, I'm going... No, you're not. Shut up. No, you're not. Shut up. It's that simple, right? You're either going to keep your word. If this line's crossed, you know, we're going to quit paying taxes if they raise taxes. Or, you know, no, you're not. You know why? Because you're afraid of going to jail. It's that plain and simple. You're afraid to go to jail nowadays. Because nowadays you go to jail for anything, right? Anything you can go to jail for. One thing I highly disagree with is two people getting a fist fight and it's mutual combat. They both agree to this fist fight. Why does one or both of them have to go to jail? Right? Some states have a mutual combat law on their books. Where, you know, but where we're at now, what's the law mean, right? Because they change the definition of everything. Every day it seems like something new's coming out. This is not what this is no more. It means this or this. I mean, we live in a society where people don't know if they're male or female. That's the society we're living in. You know? I've always told you, do your thing, right? Do your thing. If that's what makes you happy, go do your thing. But how many times are you going to say, when this line's crossed, this line's crossed? It's like people come on here and tell you every day the nuclear war is going to start tomorrow, right? It's that type of situation where it sounds like interesting, right? Like, well, it might. But then nothing ever happens. It's the exact situation when you hear somebody complain about a song, or you hear somebody that says, you know, don't come here and try that type stuff. Most people, it's in my area too, most people are honestly would call the police. That's all they would do. Call the police. They wouldn't handle it themselves as far as they avoid physical altercation with people. It's what they do. Now, is that right? Is that wrong? I don't know. Like I said, you do you. But don't come on here telling everybody or making Facebook posts or I support this because, you know, yeah, it's about time somebody says it. But yet, every time you've had the chance to say, no, we're not doing this, that it passes and then you move on to something else, right? Guys, a civil war is highly unlikable here in the United States. I don't see it happening simply because of that. Simply because of that. Because too many people are afraid of going to jail. You know, a revolution. Look, you can't have a revolution. Just think back to January 6th. Now what started our country? A revolution. Now they call that word revolution an insurrection. You go to jail. Some of them got long jail terms out of it. Now, people are talkers now. They're not doers. It's plain and simple. They're talkers. You know, you may not like this video. I know it's getting kind of touchy. Some people won't like it that does watch it. The point of this video is, I don't care how much you sit there and talk about what you're going to do, or, you know, how big and bad you are, or when the time comes, how big and bad that you can be. That type of stuff, man, just quit. Because we all know when that time comes, the vast majority of you ain't going to do nothing about it anyways. Plain and simple. You know, like I said, you get in just as much trouble now defending yourself as you do as the aggressor. And that's a sad state that we're in right now. You should be able to defend yourself, defend your property, defend your morals, your beliefs. You should be able to do that. Anybody, whether you agree with their beliefs or their morals or anything, you should be able to defend that. Now, the problem comes when you have two people that have different sets of morals, different sets of beliefs. They believe in this, they believe in this, and they clash, right? They clash. That's when the problems arise. That's when you see all this crazy stuff happen. But we're soft in America right now. We are. A lot of people don't want to admit that. They want to look at it as, like me, I'm 46 years old. I can't do a lot of the stuff I used to do at 18, 20, 25, 30 as far as, as strong as I was then and stuff like that. But they want to think back in their mind that, hey, when I was 18 and 20 and 25, I could go out here and just take care of business. They start boasting about what they're going to do when that time comes, right? Oh, you're not. No, you're not. That's why a lot of mags, prepper groups, tribes, I've heard a lot of them, they're saying we were going to background check you and all this and that if a member wants to come in the background, we're going to run background checks. And a lot of people agree with that. My issue is you should have only people you've known in your group, plain and simple. That's all you should have in your group. And when I say known, you should have known them for years. That's the way I look at it. You shouldn't be out here accepting someone like me living in Alabama and say somebody in Alaska wants to join the group. I've never met this person, don't know them. It comes down to what do we talk a lot about on this channel? Common sense. Now, if you've got a group that you're out here just accepting everybody from all over and you're charging them a fee to be in your group, you know what that's about. Making some money, right? But guys, you'll hear people too. I'm going to tell you, sometimes in a group, a mag, you need that person that most people wouldn't accept into that group or mag. They may have done something in their past that you frown upon. Maybe they, used to like to fight. Maybe they got in trouble with a little bit of drugs or something like that. But that person that you've known your whole life, you can depend on that person. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. The person is usually one of the first ones that ever shows up when you need something or need somebody, right? You know why? Because they don't care. They're the type of people, see this line, you cross that line, we're going to have problems. That's the type of people. That's them. A lot of these big prepper groups on here, big channels that have their mags, and I hear them say, if you want to join my mag, send this and we'll talk to you, we'll back. You're about the money. You're not about security, or you're trying to start a cult. That's what it looks like you're trying to do. Your mag, your group should be people that you've known your whole life. That's who it should be. I'm not saying just family. I'm saying somebody you went to school with 20, 30 years ago, but you've known that person your whole life. That's the type of groups you need. If you're out here just recruiting from all over and letting people join as long as they pay you some money and they pass your background check, what's that tell you? That's exactly why you're seeing so many YouTube videos about this song right now. This song is trending, right? And everybody's jumping on here and talking about it. And I come on here trying to tell people, look, yeah, it's a song. It's a decent song. It's a good song. But the fact of the matter is, you're supporting it, right? You're more than likely, you're one of them people that say, you cross this line, we're going to have problems. Well, when that line gets crossed, you're the person, well, if you cross this line, we're going to have problems. And that's where we're at in society. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. I really don't know. I firmly believe that if in my town, if you took 100 people and some of that crap that's in that video went on here, they would call the police. At least 90% of them would call the police. They're not going to run out there and take care of it. They're not going to say, hey, stop, get the people out of town. They're not going to do it. They're going to call the police. Now, that 10%, you might not want them showing up. That's the type of people that I'm talking about. We hear it all the time on here. You cross this line, you raise my taxes, I'm going to quit paying taxes. I'm not going to vote this year. Let me tell you something about your vote. Your vote don't matter. I'm going to be one that tells you that. It does not matter. It may matter in a local vote, like your little city or something like that, but usually that stuff's predetermined too. Now, am I telling you not to go vote? No, because that's your duty as a citizen to go vote. But you got to understand, at the end of the day, your vote really doesn't count when it comes into like election, like presidential elections and stuff like that. It doesn't. Electoral college elects the president. And let me tell you something about electoral college that some people may not know. Just because a candidate carries the state does not mean by law the electoral college has to go with that candidate. Now, that's what it used to be. Now, they may have changed the definition since the last election. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry on that. But, you know, it is what it is type situation here. Everybody thinks this new election that's coming up, you know, President Trump's going to get back in there. All they do is smoke and mirror you. That's all they're doing. You know, DeSantis running, you got Trump running, you got Afro Man. He claims he's going to run for president. Some of y'all may know who he is. He's a rapper. He sang Colt 45 and 2 zigzags. But guys, we're witnessing the fall of America, whether you want to admit it or not. We are there. We're on that slow burn to the country not being what it was. We're not what it was anymore. We're watching it crash. And people get mad over a song, right? Cancel culture. That's what they call it. Cancel culture. That's the society we live in now. You know, you take two people that don't agree with something. They got this person agrees this way, this person agrees this way. Nowadays, those two people can't sit down and talk about it. You know, they're not allowed to. You're not allowed to have your beliefs and that person to have your beliefs, because if you believe one way, you're a racist. You're homophobic. You know, all this or that, and this person over here is, right. That's where we're at now. You can't sit down. I mean, really, in most areas now, you can't sit down in a group of people and have a conversation without somebody getting mad, like really mad over the conversation. How quickly are people like that girl that come up missing down here in Birmingham? You know, Carly Russell. I commented on a Agenda Free TV. He was covering it when it happened. I'm like, something's not right here. It's going to turn out this girl was, with her boyfriend, or she was with somebody she knows. And people just started roasting me, right? Telling me I didn't know what I was talking about, that, I'm racist, and, one of them, I'm scamming them by saying that. And all I commented was back to them, I said, remember you said this when all this comes out. And when that come out, guess what? They didn't say sorry, I got a little upset, I shouldn't have said that or anything like that. No. They just ignored it, right? Just ignored it. It takes a big person to be able to say, look, I'm sorry, I was wrong. That's why I always tell you, I like hearing from y'all, because I like hearing y'all's points of views on things. Will it change my mind on something? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, But I'm able to talk to people, listen to what they have to say, tell them what I have to say. That's the way it should be. That's exactly the way it should be, but we're not there no more, because if you say anything, you're promoting violence. If you say anything, you're racist, you're this or that. They label you. They got to label everything nowadays, right? When I was always growing up, you always heard they're trying to divide us. They're dividing us. It's never stopped. And now we're living in a world that is so crazy that you can't even give your own opinion on something without getting in trouble. But guys, this is a long video. Nobody's watching at 19 minutes. If you are, thank you for watching. Once again, this video does not promote violence. It's just the way I see things, and it's for entertainment purposes and educational purposes only. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think the lines in the sand have been drawn and crossed now so many times that everybody knows it and they can just keep pushing that line back? Let me know what you think on this. Comment on this video. Keep your head on a swivel. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. Protect yourself and your family at all times. At that moment, you're the only person that can do it. If you're still watching and you haven't subscribed and you're not going to subscribe, hit the thumbs down on your way out the door. For everybody that is still watching at the almost 20-minute mark, stay safe, keep prepping, drop a comment, hit a thumbs up on this video. Stay safe, keep prepping.